You're listening to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast, episode number 99. You're too hard on yourself, Buttercup. We're going to dive into how to cut that crap out. Welcome to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast. I'm your host, Krylyn Peters. Each week, I bring you inspiring messages to help you create the life you're meant to lead. Buckle up, Buttercups. Do you ever catch yourself saying I should or I shouldn't? Well, if you do, then this episode is for you. Language matters. It does. The words that come out of our mouth are created partially by our thoughts and reflect how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about the world, what our beliefs are, what our values are. And it also dictates our action. So if you think language doesn't matter, think again. So when you say things like I should or I shouldn't, do you want to know what you're really saying to yourself? Because I have a few things that it could be. So see if any of these ring true for you. So when you are shoulding all over yourself, as I call it, what you're really saying is this, that you don't know what you're doing, or you cannot be trusted to make decisions, or that you're wishy-washy, or that the person in control of your life is anyone but you. Does any of that resonate with you or hit a little too close to home? Well, actually, I'm kind of glad because we're going to talk about how to cut that crap out. So I have 3 tips for you today on how to stop shoulding all over yourself. You ready? So tip number 1 is first, you have to catch yourself saying the S word. That's right. You have to pay attention to what comes out of your mouth. So really pay attention. Listen to what's coming out of your mouth. Also, if you can, start to catch your thoughts. If you can start to catch your thoughts before the words come out of your mouth, then you'll have a little bit more control over what comes out of your mouth. But that first tip is to really notice it and catch it at the get. So if you're having difficulty noticing it, then what you want to do is ask people around you to, like, you might even have a swear jar. And like every time I say the word should, then I got to put a quarter in the jar. And have people just start keeping track of that for you. So that's another tip. If you're not able to catch it yourself, is to ask other people to really be mindful of what you are saying. Tip number 2 is to shift that should into a could. Shift that should into a could. It's like a little song, isn't it? So anyway, because language is so important and I teach a lot about the words that come out of our mouth, I don't only say just don't say that, because here's the trick about any type of healing, no matter what it is. You cannot tell someone to stop doing something without giving them something to replace it with. Okay, so I'm going to say that in a different way. We have coping skills that we have learned long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and those have helped us survive. So when we do something that may not be terribly healthy for us now, it once served a purpose. And that's the way we cope, and that's our default coping skill. We cannot just say, okay, I'm going to stop doing that unless we have something else to do in its place. It doesn't work. When we have a void, we automatically go to fill it. And if you don't believe me, think of anyone, including yourself, who's ever been on a diet. When you are depriving yourself and saying, I cannot eat the chocolate, I cannot eat the chocolate, I cannot eat the chocolate, what do you want? You want chocolate. So the same when you start focusing on the word should and you keep focusing on that word, it's going to be, top of mind. So what do you replace it with? And here's the answer, is you replace it with the word could, and it shifts meaning at that point. So instead of saying, I should do the laundry, you can say, well, I could do the laundry. So should gives you a sense of guilt and shame, which, yuck. And then could gives you this air of mystery and possibility. And that is one option. I could do the laundry, right? Or I could go out to a movie. So it's like a choice at that point. So you're not boxing yourself into this little shame corner. You're giving yourself options, and you're softening the language, which softens the self-criticism. Yay, that's exactly what we want. We want to give ourselves options, choices, and the ability to make informed decisions. Wonderful. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 to stop shooting all over yourself is this: take responsibility. Simple as that. If you don't want to do the freaking laundry, don't do the freaking laundry. Okay? It's simple, and I know it's hard at the same time, but when we can really own up to, I don't want to do that. Now, here's the thing. You might want clean underwear at some point. So you've got to do the laundry, but you have choices as to when you do it, how you do it. Maybe have someone else do it for you. And, it might be more about other things than laundry, but you catch my drift here. But the thing is, you want to take that responsibility. When we have our big girl pants on, what we need to do is take responsibility not only for the things that we want, but for the things that we don't want. If we can stand up and say, I don't like that. I don't want that. I choose not to have that. There is a sense of power that comes with that, rather than the I should do it. That's just a much weaker stance. And I'm not trying to be harsh here, but I know you know what I'm talking about. When we are coming from that place of criticizing ourselves, being hard on ourselves, we are coming from a place of weakness. So cut that out and take responsibility. All right? So these are some great tips to help you stop shooting all over yourself. So I'm going to go over them real quickly one more time. First tip is to catch yourself saying that S word. Second tip is to shift that should into a could and maybe sing a little song about it. And tip number 3 is to take responsibility like a big girl. To get some extra support to stop shooting all over yourself, join us in the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way community on Facebook, and we'll help assist out. Meanwhile, just stop it. Thanks for listening to the Get Out of Your Own Damn Way podcast. If you've been inspired, please share the podcast with your friends. You can find us on iTunes or at Krylyn.com. KRYLYN.com.